What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Might, actively escaping the Matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew, before we get into today's vid, we have a new wallet number 1, the wallet formerly known as wallet number 2, adding a whopping 154 million Kaspa, currently valued at 8 million USD at the making of this recording, topping former wallet number 1, now wallet number 2, Mexi. This once again proves that despite the current sentiment in retail, especially with the anti-Caspians' futile opinions on Kaspa, smart money is buying. Stay tuned, Crypto Crew.
Ha, gotcha.
You have got me.
Prove all things, hold fast, that which is good. Protect your Kaspa coins and other crypto investments by practicing self-custody, and in our opinion, the Tangent wallet is your best option. Plug and play, easy to use, and the most affordable cold storage out there. Get 10% off using code CryptoCrew with the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all.
I really think the technology behind Kaspa is unique and is going to work in a cash-based system.
Crypto Crew, stablecoins are heating up worldwide, and they're only getting more relevant by the day. With Kaspa smart contracts now live, the momentum for stablecoins on Kaspa is real. Even Circle, the team behind USDC, has shown growing interest in Kas, something Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation's Junny has highlighted publicly in recent times. Now imagine a future where stablecoins aren't owned by governments or trapped on slow, congested chains, but powered by the fastest proof-of-work network on Earth. In this video, we're diving into a fiery question. Should stablecoins be nationalized into government-run CBDCs or stay privately issued under strong regulation? Now, this is a condensed cut of the debate, full version linked below, and it's a great primer on why the stablecoin conversation matters. The debate took place at On-Chain Symposium 2025 in Seoul, South Korea, proudly title-sponsored by the Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation. Big shout out to Evie from KEF, who led the opposition in this debate. Let's get into it.
Before we get to question the merits of nationalization, we have to ask a fundamental question. Has the current system of private issuers under government oversight failed so much that we must abandon it for nationalization? If we're saying stablecoins must be nationalized, then we're not merely saying that the problem exists, but these problems are so severe that we should pay the price of complete nationalization.
The opposition would have you believe that the financial future belongs to the unregulated realm for private corporations. They want to leave the stability of our economy and the security of your savings to the same forces that brought us to the chaos of Luna and Terra. Our burden in this debate is simple: to prove how governments have more incentive and capacity to manage the currency of tomorrow. Our counter model looks like a CBDC. Our model is simply a central bank digital currency. We argue that private stablecoins, even under regulation, are fundamentally flawed. The collapse of Luna and Terra was not a lesson in regulation. It was a devastating indictment of the very nature of private stablecoins. On the contrast, CBDC is a direct liability of central banks. It is the digital equivalent of cash. This direct backing provides an absolute guarantee of value, eliminating the risk of a digital bank run that private stablecoins will always face. Our argumentation is threefold: stability, efficiency, and accountability, which our second speaker will be elaborating on in her speech.
The world's first stablecoin, BitUSD, was launched 11 years ago in 2014. And every major financial innovation requires decades to mature. Banking took centuries, with the Bank of England operating without minimal oversight for over 200 years. Security needed in the 1929 crash to create proper oversight, and credit cards operated for decades before regulation. We acknowledge that stablecoins are not without flaws or risks. However, this young industry deserves the runway that all successful innovation has required. And history shows that early failures in financial system become catalysts for stronger safeguards and improved functionality. But premature government takeover will crash an innovation potential that the proper regulation guidance could nurture. The stablecoin market has demonstrated enough self-correction that proves the private issuers under regulation are working. Tether learned from BitUSD's failure, abandoning algorithm mechanism and crypto collateral for one-to-one asset backing. And after 2021, responding to regulatory pressure, Tether significantly increased its allocation to US Treasury bonds, enhancing asset quality.
The question in this debate is very simple. Should the system be controlled by corporations accountable only to shareholders, or by a public system accountable to its citizens? And we've not really heard a clear-cut answer coming from leader of opposition. Having that said, a nationalized stablecoin run by the central bank is subject to law, regulation, and as well as democratic oversight. Its rules and governments are transparent and legally binding. By contrast, what the opposition side world is trying to promote is a private company that can change its policy overnight with no public input or accountability. Regulation can demand transparency but cannot eliminate fully the structural risks. In 2023, USDC, a regulated, fully collateralized coin, still crashed to 88 cents when its reserves were trapped in Silicon Valley Bank. So regulations are reactive after when a problem occurs. It manages risk after the fact, but it cannot remove the fundamental fragility of a private company holding public trust. Second, they also talked about how innovation is less likely to happen. However, they also have to prove why free market is a perfect model for making more innovation. Under our system, when a centralized CBDC, there will be a system like banks too, because they will also lend money and sell financial products, but the money is going to be issued from the central bank. So innovation still happens under our model as well.
Major issuers now undergo regular audits, maintain full reserves. They have the right incentives with the competition to do so. With the regulatory frameworks like the US Genius Act and the MiCA Act taking effect, compliance is no longer optional but an entrance ticket for any stablecoin issuers seeking for mass adoption. If you're worried about volatility, it may require stronger reserve requirements, not nationalization. Transparency issues needed mandatory audits, not governmental ownership. Systematic risks call for coordinated oversight, not monopolization. These targeted solutions preserve competition and innovation while ensuring proper safeguards.
If you think about it, if you see the onset of the development of these said stable coins, after the cases of Terra, they realized there is no regulation to control when cryptocurrencies go rogue. After that, Tether became one of the biggest assets in the world, amassing up to $169 million in assets. And now they're in the position where they can strong-arm the transaction costs, like in the traditional banking sector that they provided. Which, by the way, we had a significant issue in the credit card companies in 2002 in South Korea, where more than 2.7 million people went default in credit, and we had more than $6.32 trillion that we have to pay off with taxpayers' money. You say traditional bankings are regulated just fine. I don't think that's the case if you think back to the case of 2002. It was only after government regulation that credit cards started flying right. So that's your burden to prove, not us. If anything, credit card companies became a lot better after the intervention of the government. In the digitalized world where currency is going to function just as the same as a physical currency that we have like the US dollar, we say our proposition model is safer, not only more innovative, but it's also long-term seeking, which is the reason why we say we have all the benefits that they, by inherent model, cannot have, because their market is driven by free interest. And free interest, by therefore, even with regulations, cannot dictate or mandate a single institution to go for a long-term goal that they're not incentivized to go in for.
On the first clash regarding efficiency and innovation, they would like us to believe that nationalization guarantees efficiency and safety. But their case collapsed when you examine the incentives of the government. Government are slow and political, right? They move at the pace of legal reviews, budget negotiations, and election cycles. So private firms, by contrast, move at the pace of innovation. The reason we already have cross-chain transfers, instant settlement, and user-friendly apps, it's because private, stablecoins compete to serve users. What happens when you nationalize? When you eliminate competition with only real, driver of innovation, instead of like multiple fast-moving engines, you are left with one slow monopoly. I don't think that's stability. That's basically stagnation. The Terra Luna collapse triggered reforms in the United States and European Union. Like USDC, improved transparency under regulatory pressure. Regulation is already adapting, proving that you can have stability without killing innovation. So the weighing here is very simple. On scale, billions of users lose the benefits of innovation under monopoly compared to the episodic collapse collapse under regulation on our side. On reversibility, collapse are painful but fixable on the opposition side. A nationalized stable gives the state visibility and accountability in every transaction. It is surveillance at a scale that we've never seen before. That enables censorship, just like what Monmo mentioned, control, or even moral hazard, where people take reckless risks because they know that the government will always bail them out. On our side, what we preserve is that stability without that kind of surveillance. Regulation enforces anti-money laundering already while protecting ordinary users also.
Big up Evie holding it down for Kaspa and decentralization. The judges scored this a unanimous win for the opposition led by Evie.
Show me the money.
The clear takeaway from this debate, crypto crew, stability doesn't require nationalization, it requires better rails. And with smart contracts now live, stablecoins on the horizon, Kaspa is that rail. Proof of work, secure, scalable, and ultra low cost. Next level adoption is up ahead, so keep your eyes on Kaspa. Not financial advice, just our conviction we share with conviction. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.